All right, I have 2 o'clock on the dot, so I'm going to get started. Um, where is my video? I'm going to turn my video on, say hi. Krista Mosher here from TCall, and my co-host this afternoon is Paula Bauer. She's going to be making sure everything works as it should. So let's get started. Today is March 10th. Same regular agenda, TCOL announcements. We're going to get our updates from our PD centers, new training and conferences, statewide events, information from our monthly webinar series, assessment announcements, PD portal announcements, and then if anybody has any questions for the PD coordinator time. So let's get started. And first slide is with Deb.
Boy, I'm first. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. It's a beautiful day, as Krista said, in College Station. We are hiring. We're still looking for that learning support specialist to join us in the PD portal team. So if you know someone who might be interested in joining the PD portal team and helping us grow that portal, here is the link. We're going to leave it up until mid-April, I believe, was the conversation I had today with Katie. So please, again, share it. We're looking for someone to work with the PD portal team. It's someone that has some video editing experience, Camtasia experience, video editing, general experience would be acceptable as well. So just wanted to share that. Thanks.
Thank you, Deb. All right, now we're going to move into our professional development centers. And first up is Joan Jackson.
I was trying to turn on my camera. There we go. Hi, everyone. My name is Joan Jackson, and I am the training coordinator with the Career Pathways Professional Development Center over here at Region 6 in Huntsville. And I'm just teasing y'all today with some info about our Career Pathways Symposium. It is coming up the last week of May, May 23rd through 25th at the Hilton Fort Worth. And just a little teaser for y'all, we are going to have session tracks, if I can talk, session tracks over integrated EL civics. And we're also going to cover intensive services. So services to internationally trained professionals and corrections and reentry services. We're getting the agenda put together and we are hoping to announce more information very, very soon. So keep an eye out. And that is all I have for today. Thank you. We hope to see y'all in Fort Worth in May.
Awesome. Thank you, Joan. Looking forward to it. All right. Next up is Michelle Vick.
Hey everyone, while I am talking on this slide, Krista, if you can go up in the top and change your settings to share computer sound or share sound, because we're going to watch a little video on the next page. So a little bit of an update about PD opportunities with the DEPDC. We have started something called the Tech Playground. We just finished our second one. It happened today, about an hour or two ago. This is an opportunity for your instructors or your program staff to drop in and play with guided hands-on practice on different digital tools for about an hour. There's not any big presentation. It's just time to really get their hands dirty, feeling what it's like to play around on it, and hopefully leave with something that they can use the very next week in class. So please spread the word. If you know different people who've been looking for more help with digital tools and ed tech, or you know that they maybe could use it, give them a nudge and let them know, and they can sign up through the PD portal on the events calendar. Our next one will be following the next Tech and Tell, which Anne Marie will talk about later, but our Tech Playground will be the week following Tech and Tell on April 1st. Also, we wanted to let you know about the DLTI, the Distance Learning and Tech Integration Symposium. It's going to be on May 12th and through the 13th, and it's going to take place in San Antonio. And so you should have already received emails about that with some save the date information. You should start booking your hotels now. It is free registration, so your staff who come, they only have to pay for their hotel and they're getting there and back, but they don't have to pay for the actual event itself, and there's free food there. So please have them sign up in the PD portal for that and send them. We're also taking right now proposals for presentations. So I'm putting the link in the chat box. That is the link if you know somebody who would like to present at the DLTI symposium in May, or if you yourself would like to present, you can submit a proposal for a presentation via that link. We'll also be providing other updated PD opportunities regarding all things distance education, tech integration, digital literacy. And if there's something specific you would like, you can request that through your PD specialist. And finally, we have new books here in the library, and I just pulled a couple off my shelf to show you. Who doesn't want to, oh, sorry, because it's blurring. Who doesn't want to tech like a pirate? So we've got Tech Like a Pirate, using classroom and technology to create an experience and make learning memorable. We've got all sorts of books about Google products and using Google products to enhance learning, Microsoft products, active learning online. Please write to us and borrow these books. We'd love to check them out to you. Now let's talk about the call center. So you can go on to the next page. Our call center is open for business, and I feel concerned that video is not showing up on when I look at there we go. Okay. So we are open right now 7 days a week from 7 a.m. till 10 p.m. We have hired 15 new staff to be working with us around the clock, or for all of those hours. That's 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we're getting calls. It's slow, but it's starting to pick up over the last couple of days. You can share that phone number for 833-498-CALL with your instructors, and then have them also share it with their students. This call center is for both instructors and students for any technical assistance that they need. So if they have a problem with Zoom, if they have a problem with GED.com, if they have a problem with giving a remote TABE test, if a student is having a problem with their distance learning curricula, all these things, we're here for you. And we will also soon have a website where it's a very simple one-stop place for students to go and instructors. You can click on a button to initiate a call or a chat. In the future, we're going to have click on a button to enter a Zoom room to get technical assistance. So that will be coming soon. We're also going to host an open house virtual party and a contest that will result in prizes for programs who utilize the call center the most between now and April 30th. So be looking for announcements about that. And we have swag, or promotional materials, that we're sending out to all the programs. So you can be looking for that. That's going to be coming soon into your inbox, into your mailboxes, and we'll have stickers for students that you can give every student that has our call center number. We're going to have magnets that you can give to every student to put on their refrigerators with our call center number. And we're going to have posters for you to put on your walls. Can you tell I'm excited? I'm excited about all this. We're mailing it out to you for free in the next week or two. So be keeping an eye out for that. And help us promote the call center using the resources. So Paula has put that link in the chat box, the Wakelet that has the resources about our call center. Please make sure that the staff that would most need to have that in your programs do have that. Finally, we're just going to take 30 seconds to watch this awesome promotional video. We have it in English and Spanish, but I think we're going to watch the English version right now. So you want to go ahead and click play, Krista?
I'm trying. There we go.
You finally have time to study, but now nothing is working and you just want to quit. Finding time to study is really hard, so when you finally do and have technical difficulties, it can be very frustrating. You'd like to call your teacher, but your teacher isn't always working when you're studying. What if you had someone to call who could help you use your phone, computer, or tablet, or help you when you can't even remember your password? Our Distance Education Call Center is here for you. If you need help with technology or studying strategies, call us 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. You can contact us at 833-498-2255.
Okay, so that's available in those resources in the Wakelet that Paula put in the chat box, as well as other things for you to share with your students and your instructors. Get them using the call center. We are here for you. We're open for business, and that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. That was wonderful. And I like what Lori said about I never get tired of that video. And I agree. It's fantastic. All right. So lots and lots of stuff going on with the DEPDC Center. Please make sure that your programs are taking advantage of it. All right. Moving on. New training conferences and statewide events. So Paula, you're up next.
Okay, thank you, Krista. Here are a list on the right of the screen of the regional 2022 literacy symposiums that are coming up. We've had a few already, which were very successful. And the Saturday and April 2nd, the first weekend of April, South Plains in Lubbock will be having their face-to-face and their regional symposium. Although these are for the CBOs and volunteer AEL programs primarily, anyone is invited. So if you collaborate with a CBO or volunteer program, please share this information. Or if you yourself or anyone in the program needs PD credit, these are some great sessions that are going on during these. On May 6th, on a Friday, we'll have the Literacy Symposium for faith-affiliated programs. It will be a Zoom event, so it'll be virtual. And then on the 21st of May, DFW is having a literacy symposium, but the location is still to be determined. And then a new one, Laredo, will have their literacy symposium on June 2nd. I haven't heard if it's going to be face-to-face. I think it is. And then Literacy Texas on the left-hand side of the screen has had their annual conference. It's only going to be 2 days this year, August 1st and 2nd. And it'll be located in College Station. I will share the link, but the link for any of this for more information is listed at the bottom of your screen here. Thank you, Krista.
Paula, can I ask a question? Did Literacy Texas send out the request for presenters?
I have not seen that yet, but I sure will check on that.
Okay.
Just put it in the chat box.
I think they're still trying to decide on a lot of things because we've been meeting about it.
It's open.
Hey, Paula and Beth, they did send something out, but
Super.
it went to junk mail.
Right.
Thanks, Katie.
I put it in the chat box.
Yeah, and the request for proposals, they want their requests in or proposals in by April 17th. So, all right, thank you, Paula. Next up is Robin.
Thank you, Krista. All right, folks, have you ever considered using poetry to help build the reading and writing levels of your ESL or ELA students? If you're just a little bit intrigued, well, I may have just the event for you. Poetry in Motion, Building Writing Skills is scheduled for virtual delivery on May the 17th, and it's open for registration now in the PD portal. It's possible that you probably even heard the rave reviews for this training that we piloted back in January. We had a really good time, and the participants loved the interactive, high-energy presentation. Delia really kept us moving during the entire time. We all wrote poems and came away with a ton of resources that we could take back to our classrooms and use with our students right away. So I also want to let you know that you can request this training for the instructors in your program as well. You just need to ask your PD specialist for more information. So if you're looking for that one last PD literacy training for your staff, check this one out. We guarantee you'll be a poet and you'll know it when you attend this training.
Thank you, Robin. All right, next is Wayne.
Hello, everybody. Just wanted to let you know that we're doing a newsletter. It's going to be called the PD Monthly. The first publication actually went out yesterday, so you might have seen it show up in your email. If not, look for it. What is basically what we're going to do is we're going to give everybody a review of the PD opportunities that are coming up for the month and any other little tips and tidbits that we think will be helpful to the general audience. We're sending this out to all active PD portal members. So if they're active in the PD portal, they should have got this. Thank you.
I'm just looking at the picture, Wayne, and you're right. There's a lot of familiar faces in this room. I can't wait till we get all face to face again.
Won't that be wonderful?
All right. Thank you, Wayne. All right. So have there been any questions? Any comments that anybody has?
There's nothing in the chat pod, Krista.
Okay. All right. Deb did ask if, if you did get your newsletter, go ahead and put in the chat pod what you thought of it. And again, check your junk mail, make sure it didn't go in your spam stuff. All right. Next is our monthly webinar series. So I will let Wendy take it away.
Good afternoon, everybody. So just a reminder that the next Manager Monday will be on March 21st at noon, and we will be going over the new Texas AEL testing guide. So Veronica Moore from TWC will be leading that training and that discussion. So I recommend that anybody that's involved in having to know the policy, step up and watch this Manager Monday. But as usual, if you can't make it on the 21st, it will be recorded and posted in the portal within usually about 2 weeks. You can go ahead and advance the slide.
Okay.
And these are the next two sessions after March. In April, on the 25th, we're going to have Dr. Alvarado back, and he's going to cover types of listening. And then I want to make a note here. In May, I had to change the date due to the conferences that we have in May. So it is now on May 16th. And in that session, we will be having Mr. Ricardo Rivera. He's the director at Brownsville ISD AEL. And he is going to be discussing all of the new and interesting things he's been doing to rebrand his IET program. So it's very exciting stuff. And then one last slide here is we have created a new flyer with the updated dates. And I'm going to try and put it in the chat pod here as soon as I'm done talking. But I wanted to point out that May is a new date. So it's May 16th. And then September is a new date. And that'll be on September 12th. So I'm going to go ahead and put this flyer into the chat pod just so that you have that on hand. And that's about it for Manager Monday.
All right, thank you. All right, so Teacher Tuesday, we are not going to have a Teacher Tuesday session in April, but get ready for the session in May, on May 10th. Ashley Winkle and I are going to collaborate. We are going to choose one or two of our Adult Ed Med videos and show how to put those into either a lesson plan or a lesson series for your classrooms. I know Ashley has done, and Dr. Hargrove have done several video webinars, and some people have asked, well, how can I use this? How do you suggest we use this in our classroom? So Ashley and I are going to get together and we're going to take you through some steps on how to make these things, these videos even more effective in your classroom and teaching. So registration will be available at some point. It's not quite there yet, but put that session on your calendar. All right, thank you. And the next is either Wendy or Olga.
It's Olga. Hello, everybody. I just want to share about Workforce Wednesday. For March 23rd, we have engaging students with motivational interviewing. So join myself, Dr. Olga Escamilla, and Liz Moya as we highlight the research-based strategies used for student interviewing. So come and learn how to ask the right questions to strengthen a student's motivation towards achieving their goals. And what we're going to do is we're going to identify the MI principles that draw on a student's voice and accountability to drive positive change. And then on April 20th, we have Victoria Hinojosa and Alexandra Howard. And these are our Gulf Coast College navigators, and they're back for part 2 or step 2 of a 4-part series. So this is going to break down the 4 steps of career planning and address the who, what, and how of career planning and exploration. So I keep saying part 2. Step 2 is what are my options? So learn how to incorporate labor market information to explore career options, align values and interest and skills with their career choices. So there is an encouragement to take the self-interest analyzer in mytexascareer.com or My Next Move prior to this class. Next slide. And these are just the upcoming dates for the rest of the year, March through December. So just make note of those, and I'm going to place those in the chat. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Olga. And next is Anne Marie Molinari Sanders.
Good afternoon, everyone. And let's talk about what's coming up with Tech and Tell. So I'm excited to share that we have a new presenter that presented on March 2nd, Amy McBride from the Literacy Council of Tyler. She's a licensed special education teacher, and she presented on a fairly new website called Mathagon. And I hesitate to say website because it really is a tool with many, many parts. And so this is going to be part 2 on March 25th. And as Michelle pointed out, it is pretty incredible that it's free, and it is from England and Wales, actually. And they're making updates all the time. So part 2 is going to be on March 25th. It's going to be 90 minutes. And it's going to focus in on this incredible tool called a Polypad. And the best way to describe it is this interactive whiteboard that has a virtual reality, not virtual reality, but a virtual 3D component. You can move shapes around, you can change colors, you can rotate them, you can roll dice. It's quite amazing. And so I encourage you to attend. And I see that there's a question in the chat pod, and I think that's from Michelle. Michelle, is that from you? Yes. And yes, even though it's a part 1 and a part 2, people are encouraged to come to part 2 as well, because there will be a little bit of a review, and then we'll get into the Polypad. So thank you for asking that, Michelle. And then the following week, on April 1st from 12 to 1 will be the Tech Playground. And the Tech Playground, as Michelle shared, is to play with all different types of digital tools. But on April 1st, Amy McBride will be joining the Tech Playground team of Michelle and Ashley to help out with, practicing with the Mathagon digital tools, because there's lesson plans,
there's activities, and then there's the polypad. So that will be on March 25th. So registration is available. Next slide. So I'm excited to share that Michelle Vick, our very own Michelle Vick, will be presenting for Jamboard Part 1 and Part 2. So Part 1 will be April 15th. And it's during the normal time, 11:30 to 12:30. And then Part 2 will be on April 22nd. And another good question, Nelda Tolvar asks, it will be the Tech and Tell for math manipulatives is always 11:30 to 12:30. But the Part 2, can we go back one slide, Chris? I'm sorry. On March 25th, Nelda, it's going to be from 11:30 to 1. So it is a 90-minute Tech and Tell webinar, but the usual time frame is 11:30 to 12:30. Okay, so good question. Thank you. So let's go back. So Jamboard will be in, we're going to jam. We're going to jam in April with Jamboard on April 15th and April 22nd. So, and registration will be available very soon. And so next slide. Great questions, everybody. So thank you. And I want to show you the upcoming schedule. We talked about March 25th. That is Mathagon Part 2. April 15th and April 22nd are Jamboard Part 1 and Part 2. And then mark your calendars for May 20th and May 27th, because Amy McBride will be back talking about another wonderful math resource called GeoGebra. And I'll put these dates in the chat pod. And Krista had done a great webinar several years ago on GeoGebra, but we thought we wanted to update it. And so Amy will be back with her math knowledge to do a Part 1 and a Part 2. So Part 1 is May 20th and Part 2 is May 27th. So thank you, Krista. Next slide. And as always, we would love for you to reach out to us to give us ideas for Manager Monday, Teacher Tuesday, Workforce Wednesday, and Tech and Tell. We could not do this without you because of the talent in the field. So please email us with your ideas and your suggestions, as we always strive to make these webinar series the best they can be. Thank you, Krista.
You're welcome. I was watching the girl with the
Me
banner
too.
going up and down. It's just like, and
Me
I
too.
clicked and I paused it and I was like, okay, she's not moving anymore. Yeah, that kind of looks like us as we're trying to get our booth set up at conferences. Okay, moving on. We had lots of questions during that section. Does anybody have any other questions or comments about our Tech and Tell, Manager Monday, Teacher Tuesday, Workforce Wednesday?
None in the chat pod.
Okie dokie. We will move on. And it is test training season. Robin, take it away.
Thank you. Well, when you start seeing the bluebonnets in Texas, you know it's the season for test training, and we have quite a number scheduled for you in the next couple of months. So please take note of the ones that are on the screen there. Registration is open now in the PD portal for the test administrator trainings for Best Plus 2.0. And we only have just a few spots left, so please go ahead and register for that. Please be cognizant that we are limiting enrollment to 2 for the small programs and 5 for large consortiums. So if you exceed that amount, then we'll contact you to prioritize your list. We have Best Literacy coming up. We have CASAS modules 1 through 4, and then we also have TABE 11-12 online. So please go ahead and register for these. And again, we have a few spots left for Best Plus, and I think that CASAS and TABE are filling up rather quickly too. So you may want to go ahead and get those folks registered. All right, next, please. In addition to the test administrator training, we'll be offering training of trainer sessions too. Those are called TOTs for each of the tests. And these events are for experienced test administrators who wish to train others to administer the test. And we ask that you please choose wisely. And when you are choosing, please take care to select your candidates wisely, in that they need to have at least 1 year of testing experience. That's per the publisher recommendation, and that you expect them to have longevity with your program. And of course, that you want them to, they have the desire to train other people. Upon completion of the TOT sessions, the participant who attends will be a certified trainer who can then come back and train locally or for Train PD. There is one exception to that, and that is with the Best Plus 2.0, because the publisher requires additional homework. There's some post-training work that the participants need to complete, and Cal monitors the work and determines when it's complete. We don't do that, and it can take up to 6 months to get your trainer credential for Best Plus 2.0. Okay, thank you. The next one, please. And want to remind everybody that before candidates can attend a virtual TOT or test administrator training, they're required to attend a materials and tech check. And every test administrator training or TOT has 1 or 2 of them scheduled to accommodate everyone's calendar. And usually they're offered the day prior to the event. So you'll need to kind of block off in your mind that the day before, about an hour, 30 to 45 minutes for the participant to attend. And once the participant is registered for the TOT or the test administrator training, we contact them to schedule the materials and tech check, and we register them for that. So we try to work around everyone's schedule so that make it easy for you to attend. There's no PD credit, but this is where we go over the Zoom features. We go over the expectations for the training, the materials. We log into the demonstration sites that are used for DRC and CASAS. It's really our way of making sure that the participants are prepared to receive the best PD experience possible. So we certainly appreciate your support in making sure that the folks are able to attend that the day before. Okay, the next, please. There are plenty of opportunities to attend testing TOTs this spring, and registration is open for the Best Plus 2.0. Please note that the deadline to register is today, March the 10th. It says tomorrow, but I believe today is March the 10th. So please be mindful of that. I think I only have 1 more spot available. We have Best Literacy that's later on in May, CASAS that's the first part of May, and then of course TABE online April 23rd. Registration is open now, so please, PD coordinators, register your participants, and keep in mind that participants must attend the entire multiple day or single day TOT events in order to receive the credential, because these are scripted trainings and the publisher requires that they're here on time and they stay for the duration of the training. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, please contact me or Tracy Hendricks, and I'll put our email addresses in the chat. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Robin. I see Olga put a question. Is anyone providing a local session on Best Plus 2.0 session anytime soon? So are you asking the programs, Olga, for that?
Hi, yes, ma'am. Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. Anybody can help a friend out, let Olga know. Thank you. All right. Any other questions? If not, I will let Katie have it.
Good afternoon, everyone. We have a whopping 9 courses that have been published in the PD portal, which is pretty amazing considering there was a holiday the last time, I guess, whenever some of these came through. So we have new directors training session 4. That one was done back this summer, but is a very longer course. So it took us a little bit of work to get through. So that one's available. Workforce Wednesday, Career Navigator Perspective, working with ITPs. Workforce Wednesday, Unpacking Our Bias. Teacher Tuesday, welcome to the DEPDC Center. Oh my gosh, that is so many letters. Manager Monday, Program Year 21 to 22 HSE vouchers. Then we have Self-Directed Learning, Transformative Learning, AEL Fundamentals, Overview of Distance Learning in Texas. And last but not least, GED Manager for Program Year 21-22. This one specifically is informational. So if you do view this course, please know that it is not for PD credit. But going back to self-directed learning, transformative learning, these are 2 of our almost brand new courses that have been published. If you're looking or your staff's looking for PAL credit, please check these out. One is an hour and 3/4, and the other one is 1 hour. And then of course we have another course over DL there that was just published too, that I believe is an hour. Okay, next slide.
I think this is going to be me, and I'm going to step in here, Katie, and I'll give it back to you here in just a moment. So when we publish a new curriculum in the PD portal, we also add it into Teams. And it came to our attention when we launched the overview of distance learning in Texas that somebody had already put it into Teams. So this is a reminder for you, and I really need your help to pass this down to your sub providers, if you're part of a consortium, that there are certain things that TCAL is responsible for putting into Teams. All of the online courses we put into Teams. Any links or national conference sessions we put into Teams. Any state conferences we put into Teams. So for the PD portal online courses, it'll always start with PD portal and then the full title of the course. So as you can see here, we have 2 AEL fundamental courses that don't say PD portal at the beginning, and they don't have a description, which are kind of the things that we look for that somebody else has put this in to Teams. Now, part of the problem here is somebody's already attached staff to these. So I can't delete them because somebody's put staff in next to them. Also today, I found a Tech Intel in Teams that somebody else at a program level put in, and I found a Taylor session that somebody at the local level put into Teams. So if you could just help me get the word out that that is TCAL's responsibility, and if we get too many entries, then people get confused. It's hard to pull the data. So that's my commercial. Thank you.
Beth, if I can add to this, we do have the spreadsheet for the courses for national and other program, other things that oh, good grief, my brain just took off. We have the spreadsheet available to put outside courses that you send to your PD specialist that will send it to the appropriate person. And I wanted to look, is Marie Covert on today? Yes, there she is. I need to give Marie Covert a gold star because I'm putting in links courses right now. And this is one of the first spreadsheets that I received that has exactly the 200 characters. And I'm having to do very little work with putting these things into Teams. So I really, really appreciate it. All right. So back to Katie.
All right, this is me again. So I wanted to include this tip. I've already emailed probably a couple of you, but I wanted to kind of just put this out as a reminder. So as we check email, we notice that a lot of programs are working through the course Understanding Principles of Adult Learning. That's our, I believe, our 3-hour. So along with a handful of some of our other courses, this one requires participants to navigate to a Connect community, so our discussion board, and then back to the original curriculum player. A lot of participants end up launching a new curriculum player. When they do that, they get stuck in a vicious cycle of not being able to move on to the next slide. And I am 100% sure that a lot of you have heard this before. So here are some tips that can be shared with staff. Uh-oh, I think you moved, there you go. Here are some tips that can be shared with staff so that they're able to move through the course. So after submitting the post on the discussion board, they're going to hover on the Google Chrome icon at the bottom of the computer. I say Google Chrome because that's what we use, and that's what's most compatible with the PD portal. Then they click on the window that shows the original curriculum player with the online class. Then the next button will be available. It is a fancy little trick, and I promise it works. We also have instructional document here that has been put in the chat pod, so please check that out. And this you can keep going with the next slide. It's all kind of similar. Another thing we've done is in the past, we have had a library of help resources or help videos, and we've kind of changed that up this year. So now if you need help and you're looking for some kind of assistance, you can hover over the help tab and click on help resources. In here, there are there's actually 4 of our most common videos that will be helpful. They're real short, but also there's a link to where we house all of our help videos and instructional PDFs. So please, 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 please check these out. Please share this information with your staff. It is very helpful, and I think it will help people become less frustrated as they're trying to get their PD complete by the end of the program year. Okay, I believe I have 2 more. So as a part of a recent PD portal cleanup, a lot of our outdated events were deactivated. So what does this mean exactly for you and your staff? Instead of view certificate next to the completed training, some courses will say inactive. To get to the certificate of completion, simply click on the down arrow or the triangle next to inactive and then select view certificate. So don't worry, it's still there. You still have credit for it. It's just inactive because we've removed it from some of our events from our portal. One more. Okay, one more slide here for you. And this is just a reminder as we enter the spring season. Several of you on this webinar are considered a manager or approver in the PD portal, which are the terms that we use specifically for the portal. Being in this role allows you to run reports such as transcript reports, assign trainings, view transcripts and certificates of completion, communicate with others in the AEL field, etc. So this resource here on the screen, you can either scan it with your phone or it's in the chat. The resource is there. We have been busy updating this. In fact, we have a PD portal intern named Colin Christian that joined us in the middle of January. And one of the recent things he's been helping us with, besides a number of all post-production stuff, is creating videos that will walk us through assigned training, running reports, and all of that helpful stuff. So please be on the lookout for that. We will be putting these videos into the PD portal supervisory Wakelet, so that resource is a one-stop shop for you.
All right, thank you, Katie. Any questions for?
Lots of good information in the chat pod, but I don't see questions, Krista.
All right. Yes, welcome to Colin. He's been a big assistance and a big help with Katie. All right, or for Katie, or I think I just need to stop talking now.
I appreciate it either way. Thank you.
All right, so brings us to our PD coordinator time. We've got plenty of time if you have any questions. If you have anything that you would like to ask, talk about, bring up, anything about the follow-up plan. Most of your PD specialists should have sent out the PD plan follow-up template, and that will be due April 2nd or April 1st, excuse me. So if you have any questions about that, we can discuss that now. If not, we can give you 15 minutes of your life back.
Krista, you said April. Do you mean May?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay.
Thank you. May 2nd, actually.
You had some people start sweating there, Krista.
I know, I was too. It's like, this does not sound right. So thank you, Wendy. All right. I'm not seeing anything. Yes, Marie, April Fools. I was just saying if anybody was paying attention. That's what it was. Okay. So our next PD coordinator session will be April 14th. And then the last one for our program year will be May 12th, and then we'll get started right back up in June again with those dates. So have that on your calendar. And Michelle, do you want to talk about this? Are you still here? So no, Ashley's not.
I am still here. We would love for you to like us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page and follow us there. We are often putting additional resources that we like and information about upcoming events there. So follow us there on Facebook.
All right. And on that note, if there's no other questions, we will end this PD coordinator webinar. And remember, it will be on the PD coordinator community of practice by tomorrow afternoon, hopefully. All right. Thank you all for being here.